Welcome back to We Come From the Future, a podcast about people from the future. Music is played with notes. A painting is created with colors. Life happens with energy. Energy is the backbone of our lives. Energy makes life possible, and without it, I wouldn't be here to tell you stories, and you wouldn't be here to listen to them. The entire universe is in motion, constantly expanding. As I speak these words, the universe has expanded by a few light years. The expansion of the universe wouldn't be possible without energy. The same energy passes through us, humans. Without energy, we wouldn't be here. To survive, we need light, electricity, gasoline to fuel our cars, and gas to cook our food on the stove. Even our inner world is governed by this universal essence called energy. The emotions that define our inner being are based on it. Energy in motion, emotion. No, I'm not inviting you to a personal development interview. Today, we have Franck Neel with us, a member of the OMV Petrom board responsible for gas and energy activities. He is French and studied in France and England, where he earned an MBA at London Business School. He worked for 25 years with the ING Group and was active in many countries: France, the Czech Republic, Hungary, the Netherlands, Italy, and the United Kingdom. He has been a member of the OMV Petrom board since July 2018, and we invited him to explore the fascinating universe of energy and his perspectives in Romania. Franck, welcome to We Come From the Future. When I say energy, what do you see?
A lot of energy. Yeah, and thank you for the invitation.
We're in Romania. Romania is trying to position itself like kind of a hub for the new energies for Europe and so on. We really need energy in Europe, everywhere in the world, especially in Europe. Looking what happens in Russia, Ukraine, and so on, in this context, we need energy in Europe. Romania is, let's say, well positioned to bring this energy in Europe. What does OMV Petrom in this field?
So you mean what do we do in Romania to bring energy to the people? That's your question? Yeah?
We have a lot of energy in Romania. We are, I think, the only country in the area who is producing its own energy. Mm-hmm. I think Romania has the ambition to provide energy for other countries as well. Hub.
Yes.
And OMV Petrom is one of the key actors in this process. And my question is, how do you see Romania in this context, and what would be the future of Romania in the energy field in the European context?
Okay. Yeah, thank you again for the invitation. Very pleased to be in this studio. I have to say,
we're in the future.
We're in the future. To come to energy and to this region in Romania, Romania has the potential to become a hub in the energy, and not only gas or electricity, but also fuels. And the future of all mobility around electricity, etc. Whereas I think to become a hub, at least 3 prerequisites. So I think we are not there yet as a Romanian to be a hub, but we are getting there. We need diversity of supply, so you need different source of supply. You need to be able to have different actors. You need competition, which is also I think we have today a competitive market, and then you need a regulation that enables the competition. So we have the actors. We don't have yet the frame. I think that's a regulatory frame. We don't have a liberalized market, a lot of regulation, and I think that's still the thing which is, I would say, the barrier for Romania to become a real hub. You know, to be a hub is not just about source; it's also to make sure that you have a market, energy market that functions. You know, that people can trade freely on the markets, and this is still to be developed in Romania. But to come back to the first 2 points, yes, there's a lot of factors, a lot of sourcing that we are developing. As OMV Petrom, we are of course very involved in this field, and our strategy from 2030 is to be the leading energy supplier for the transition in the Southeast Europe. First thing, if we look at gas, let's look energy by energy. Gas, we have a huge potential in the Black Sea that we are developing today with our partner Romgaz. The field is called Neptune. It will enable Romania to become the largest producer in European community. So that will be, of course, by 2027, a huge step for Romania in terms of gas security of supply in the region, gas supply, and revenue for the state as well, because, of course, it's a huge benefit for the Romanian economy. Electricity, energy, there is, Romania has a benefit today to have a diversity of supply, so already between renewable, hydro, nuclear, coal, gas, and that's the current situation. But when we look at the amount of investment in the energy transition in Romania, it's huge. And I think that's one of the characteristics of Romania at the moment is the dynamism and the level of investment ongoing in the energy transition for electricity is very impressive. The energy minister yesterday was mentioning something like 17,000 megawatt potential project coming. So you have a solar, you have wind, you have a new nuclear power plant, improvement of the a new gas infrastructure as well. So that's really impressive when you see the amount of project, and it's also for electricity too much for the demand. And when you look at the Romanian demand, even if electrification will certainly increase the demand, so it means you become a hub, because by definition you will need to export some of this gas, some of this electricity, and you become a regional players in this environment, in the energy transition, but also in security of supply on the region. And what is important is this energy to be affordable, because you want also to make sure you create the demands and you have this an energy affordable. The fact that you have all this investment will enable to reduce the pressure on the supply demand, so how the price is fixed, and to have a large amount of supply will enable to reduce the prices. So that's also important in terms of the future. The transition is difficult. We should not minimize the challenges. I mean, there's a lot of challenges to get there. Big investment needs to be done. I mean, Neptune, the gas in Black Sea is $4 billion investment.
$4 billion.
$4 billion. So it's a huge, one of the largest investment. I think the largest private investment in Romania since many years. So this is definitely, it was a difficult decision to take, because you take the risk of the gas market, you take the risk of the demand, supply, etc. But as both our investors decided to take this risk to go ahead, you need a lot of discussion, of course, on the legislation and to make sure the frame works for such investment, long-term investment. But that's not the only investment in Romania. I think there's really a lot of investment ongoing in the solar and the wind as well at the moment on the electricity side. So it's exciting, because it's really this region is a turning point in the energy sector.
What about innovation in this field? Because there are a lot of innovations in the energy area. What are you doing in Romania in order to innovate in the energy field?
So I think it's what is very impressive for me. You mentioned my career quickly in the introduction. So more than 30 years in the energy sector. I have never seen so much innovation and dynamism in terms of creativity in the energy sector the last, I would say, 5 years or 3 to 5 years. You are talking about developing new technology to be able to achieve this energy transition. So, in Romania, we are talking to implement one of the first small, not OMV Petrom, but the Romanian government, the first with nuclear electrica, the first small nuclear power plant.
Yeah, I'm very proud of this project.
So it's quite an innovation as such.
The guy who is in charge with this project at Europa, Cezar Georgescu, was one of my colleagues in the high school, and he worked a lot in Canada, the United States, United Kingdom, Poland, and from time to time he came to Romania, and each time we met, have a lunch or a dinner, I push him to come back, and I am part of his decision. So each time we are talking about the SMR, the small modular reactors in Romania, I'm very proud of this project.
Yeah, so that's one of the innovations, but it's not the only one. Of course, there is, as a company, we are working on the carbon storage, because I think, we need also, as part of the solution, to reduce the CO2 is to capture the CO2 and store the CO2. So we are working on this type of innovation. We are working on geothermal innovation for Romania. We have also a development in hydrogen, looking at new technology. We have invested in a company called Hycamite in Finland, which is a startup company, which produce a low carbon hydrogen using natural gas and black carbon that you can use for the tires manufacturers, for example. And it's still an industrial pilot this year in Finland, which should start in April, May. And from that, our plan is to do the first industrial site in Europe, in Romania. So that will be, I think, as a country producer of gas, that makes sense that we invest in this type of low carbon hydrogen, not only green hydrogen, which is produced with renewable power and water, but also this low carbon hydrogen, which is produced with natural gas, but where you capture the CO2. And so it's a low footprint hydrogen for the industry or for different processes. So that's definitely, major step in terms of this development. We are talking also, innovation, maybe not necessarily in the technology, but also in the way we serve our customers, in terms of digital tools, in terms of how make the life of our customers and better, and to have better services from an energy point of view. So we have our OMV app that you can download. You have the Petrom app you can download as well as a customer. So it's always part of the technology that new technology and new services we are providing to our customer. So from I would say very technology driven, but also from a digital point of view, services to our customers.
We are living in a country where people believe that we are stuck in a small country which is not important on the European area and so on. This is the mentality of the Romanians, because you have the communist regime behind us, a lot of problems in our mental frame. Now, when we are talking about your business, it's not only about business, because I was listening to you as a Romanian, and I have to say that I was proud to hear that my country will play such an important role in the European context of the energy. So I think it's not only about making money and making business, it's about also rebuilding a country, rebuilding the social tissue of the country. What's your feeling about this side of the business?
I think if I look at the assets, because you mentioned a lot of assets in the energy sector were built, is true in terms of, I would say, power production at the time of the communism. If you look at the hydro, nuclear, coal power plant, and since the last 10 years, now we have seen a wave of new investment. You have in the year 2010, 2012, the first renewable development, the first gas power plant with OMV Petrom, built the first gas power plant large gas power plant in Romania. And now we can see a wave of new investment. So I think the new generation of asset is coming, so which is good also for Romania. We had this asset we were built 40 years ago and needs to be changed or rebuilt or revamped, and that's ongoing. So I think for Romania it's also important that there was a wave during the communist time, and now there's a wave of new investment to rebuild the infrastructure and to rebuild also the asset, the power generation asset, and also the gas generation asset, which, as mentioned, also the gas resources we are developing. So I think that's important for Romania to see that, and for the Romanian people and the economy, to see that the private sectors is developing a new infrastructure, a new investment to replace all these assets. So that's to complete the asset. In terms of the way you ask the question is a bit, I think that the Romanian are a bit pessimist, or I don't see that, from my point of view, when I work with the, Petrom is, we say 90% of Romanian people, so I work with many Romanian people, and when I see, the dynamism of the company and our partners in Romania, I see a lot of innovation. I see people, entrepreneurs who wants to work with Petrom and to develop services for us to improve our development, our quality, etc., etc. So I see a dynamism, entrepreneur spirit, and a diversity of also in terms of genders, which is very good. I think it's also important to see that women are very implication of women in entrepreneurship and in business is very important in Romania. I think I see this as a really a key success also for Romania. So this, I think, I don't see a pessimist in the country as such. There is a risk of today, of course, if you talk about politics, about the populism, which I think we need to show as a foreigners in Romania and as a foreign company, what we bring to the country, in terms of our added value, in terms of our investment in the country. If you look at the OMV Petrom, we are investing 11 billion euro for between 2021 and 2030 in Romania. Most of our investment in Romania. We pay our tax in Romania, so it's really we contribute. I think we are one of the highest contributors to the tax Romanian budget in terms of taxes. So it's definitely our footprint is in Romania and the Southeast Europe, and we do our investment here, and we contribute, of course, to the creation of jobs in Romania. If we look at Neptune, the benefit of Neptune is around, for the Romanian economy, is estimated by Deloitte as around $40 billion for the economy, the lifetime of the gas field, and 20 billion tax revenue for the Romanian state. So that's investment done in Romania and benefit for the Romanian people. So I think we should always try to communicate better to explain what we are doing in Romania and the benefit of our investment for the economy in Romania. I think that's really important to stop with this misbelief, in terms of what the role of our company in the country.
Yes, it's very important what we just said, because we are living in a country where, unfortunately, what we hear on the main media, in the streets, in the shops, and so on, everyday life, we hear about this Romania that doesn't work. But in reality, there are a lot of people on the very interesting projects in Romania that are working very well. That are connecting Romania to the future. Mm-hmm. And I'm a bit frustrated as a journalist when I see that the main media in Romania doesn't really show these kind of projects. That's why I decided to create We Come From the Future, the place where we are right now, to show these people, to show that they exist and they should inspire the people who are listening to us right now. I'm sure that right now the people who are listening to us, they are telling themselves, wow, is it possible to have this in Romania? Yes, is it? I'd like to know what does attract you to the energy field, because there are millions of jobs outside there. Something touched you in your past, in your personal alchemy, that attracted you to the energy field. What are you doing in the energy field? How did you get here?
That's a good question. I studied, I think when I was 17, 18, when I passed the baccalaureate, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I have to say I was
Nobody knows anything.
I was better in science than in humanities, that's for sure. So I went more in the engineering type of, but again, at that time I didn't know I was thinking about construction, to go to civil engineering. So I didn't really have a clue about where I wanted to go. And then I think when I was 19, 20, I did an internship in a company French company called Alstom. So it was my first experience in the energy sector as an internship, a student. And it was a huge factory in Normandy, in France, where they were producing the transformer for electricity. The huge transformer, the biggest transformer in the world. And I was in this place where they were testing the transformer, the resistance of the transformer to lighting. So they were simulating lighting in a hall and the effect on the transformers. And when I saw that, I was so impressed. I said, I want to work in this sector, in the energy sector. So it came from that, that an internship with the right people, I have to say, and to assist an experience which was quite, to see a simulation of lighting when you are 19 years old is always quite an experience to see. And I have to say, that was really for me, I say, okay, this sector I want to work in. I didn't know what to do in this sector, but I say, I want to work in the energy sector.
What's the most precious thing you are taking with you from all your experience. I just saw this image, you know, the simulation of a strike at that age, and must be amazing. What do you take from all these professional experiences, the most precious thing you take with us?
For me, it's always about the people with who I work. You know, when I look you mentioned I work in different countries, and you start with a team. You know, you build a team, and you grow with the team. You know, and to see when you leave the country, you see your team. You know, you look at your team and you look at how we develop, what we have achieved together, from A to B. You know, the journey we did together. And for me, it's always this. It's about the development of the team, how we grow together, and the succession of, you know, because I leave the country, so my succession, you know, how the team continue after. And that's, I always kept, of course, contact with the different teams I work in the world. Some of them I went back, you know, in UK, for example, I went back 10 years later to work with some of the same people who were still there. So it was good also to see what happened to them. So definitely, for me, it's this, you know, it's really you know, there are a lot of things you can think about, but the teams and the journey we did together.
What does it mean, Romania, for you beyond your job? I mean, it's a country where you live for 4 years. You had time to discuss 6, many years, enough to feel the country, to make it your own. Beyond the business, what does it touch you most in this country?
The countryside, I think the landscape, the diversity of landscape you have in Romania between the sea, the mountains, the delta of Danube, the Carpath, the national park. It's quite impressive, I have to say. And the fact that it's still wild, you know, that you still have this impression to the forest of the, you know, like it was 1,000 years ago, and that's really impressive, I have to say. For me, it was a discovery. I've been to Bucharest before, you know, before I joined Romania OMV Petrom, but I have to say your countryside, and that's the first thing. The second is the hospitality, because when you visit Romania, the hospitality of the people is something which is very particular to Romania. I think you are open to foreigners. You are open to cultures and curious. You are curious to other people, which I think I really appreciated when I joined Romania. And I had some amazing experience also with the first winter. I want to justify. I was with a charity, you know, that we sponsor in the mountains, to bring, you know, some Christmas gift for families who live, you know, in isolated places in the mountains. And here you meet people who are living with little things, of course, with little comfort, but they don't complain. They smile at you. And when you were there, the most important for them was not what you bring, is to discuss with you, you know, is to learn about you, why you are here, and to explain also their life, etc. But not with a smile, you know. And this for me was really appreciated, you know, as part of the culture of Romania. So definitely, as I was, the two things: your landscapes, the diversity of the country, your resources, and the people, hospitality of the people.
Thank you. It's very touching. As a journalist, I discovered that I thought that all the countries around Romania have the same openness for the same curiosity, let's say, about the world. And in Romania, you can go anywhere. You find people talking English or French. You manage to have a tool of communication. And I thought that it was the same in Bulgaria, in Hungary, in countries that I was covering for my newspapers. But when I get there, I discovered that they are not very skilled for the foreign languages. I don't want to say that the Romanians are smarter, but that I realized that we are much more open, because when you only learn a foreign language, it's because you want to communicate with the others and so on. And I was very pleased to see.
Compared to France, you know, you see more people in Romania speak English than in France. In France, if you go to a bakery, it will be difficult to speak English. Here, I can find bakery where we speak English to you. So you are completely right. Maybe sometimes you don't realize this when you are living in Romania because you don't speak foreign languages with your own people. But as a foreigner, it's very impressive. I mean, the quality and the linguistic capabilities in Romania, even a lot of people speak like you speak French. So this is really. I was also surprised. I should have mentioned it as well. Compared to again, if I compare to France, it's the quality of the people in terms of speaking languages is much higher in Romania.
We have a young generation today who is very interested in the new technologies. I met a lot of young people who have an idea and they try to transform the idea in a startup, in a business. We have a lot of incubators, accelerators for startups. So we have the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And I see a new generation coming on the Romanian market with really, I'm really amazed to see these young people. What would you say to the young Romanians who are maybe still students right now and they will go on the market, the real market, mm-hmm. in a few years? What would you tell them knowing that Romania is in a technological tsunami like all the countries today?
Mm-hmm. First, I would say try to do what you want to do. Make sure what you want to do. Don't be afraid. Don't put some barriers about what you want to do. So definitely try to develop what you would like to do in terms of your professional life. There is a lot of possibility in Romania. You mentioned incubators to start new ideas. I think it's easy to start things. It's not always easy to scale up because you need you need access to financials, which sometimes is a problem in Europe in general compared to US. But there's a lot of creativity and the people start. So that's I think the one thing. You have also companies like OMV Petrom who offer internship, offer education program to bring students in the company. So look at it as well. You have access to not only OMV Petrom, but I think you have large companies who are offering this internship. It gives you the possibility to start a professional life even before you finish your study. I think it's like I was mentioning before my internship with Alstom. It's important to have this because it will help you to understand what to do. What do you like, what you would like to go in which area. And I think to test this, it will give you some direction, help you to find some direction in your career. And as an employer, we like also to see students who have done some internship, professional experiences or work for NGO, because it's really sure that your student wanted to test things and to do something with outside of the school system. And I think that's important for the students to do this before they go they leave the university of the school. Yeah.
Nice. We approach the end of this interview. One last question. How do you feel here at We Come From the Future?
I'm very impressed, and we just discussed before the interview what this Marcom Hub is offering to different customers. And as I mentioned to you, I want to use this studio and this technology for our company. So I will definitely talk to the people here to see how we can improve our events and to be hybrid, because it's a new way of working today. Of course, this hybrid system is important, but I think you need also the right tools to make it to work better. So I think, everybody has this online Zoom or whatever, but I think now the technology exists to make it better and to make it more efficient. And I think what I like with this tech experience here is you are working on technology to make it much better than what we are doing now in terms of hybrid system, digital, and events. Yeah.
Tech you need to touch.
Yes.
Franck, thank you for being with us on
thank you to you.
The Future. Dear friends, you've heard Franck Neel, a member of the OMV Petrom board responsible for gas and energy activities. You can learn more about him and this project at omvpetrom.ro, and you can find us at noivenindeviitor.ro all connected in one word. Noi venim din viitor.ro, meaning we come from the future, of course, in Romanian. We are also on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Additionally, we offer the video news journal News from the Future, produced with digital avatars, and propose Radio NVDV, a radio created with artificial intelligence. You can listen to it on noivenindivitor.ro page and on your phone via iOS and Android. I'm Mirel Brand, and I'll see you at We Come from the Future. Take care and stay calm. We come from the future, and everything is okay.